Hello and welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. I'm a big Rachel Weisz fan actually. I love her since I've seen The Mummy, and I'm always happy when I see her in a movie, like in Black Widow. And as she's now part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I finally have an excuse to draw her. So let's go. I want to be honest with you. I was actually not that excited about a Black Widow movie. I think I'm suffering under some kind of effect from having all those superhero movies like Doctor Strange with a lot of magic going on and really spectacular visuals. And the Ant-Man and the Wasp, where you have those spectacular visuals again in quantum space, however they call that. But it's just really extreme, and you have a lot of in Captain America Civil War you have that big superhero fight. In WandaVision you have again magic, a lot of it, and very spectacular. And I wasn't that sure about what Black Widow would bring to the table as a movie to make it really exciting. So yeah, I was not that excited about the upcoming Black Widow movie. But, well, I'm watching everything Marvel. I don't want to miss anything from the story. If you look at the series WandaVision, for example, probably not that uninteresting for whatever is coming next in the Marvel Universe, so you can't miss that, can you? So I went and watched it, and I have to say Rachel Weisz was one of the big draws of the movie for me, so that I in the end really was almost a little bit looking forward to the movie. And I honestly think that's what saved the movie for me. It is, as you have probably heard by now, it is not the most beloved of the Marvel movies. It is not the best movie, but I was not expecting that much from it, and it delivered more than I expected, especially with the performance of the actors. I did expect a lot of Scarlett Johansson by now as Black Widow, and also by Rachel Weisz and some of the other pretty cool actors that are in this movie. But I did not anticipate them really saving the movie with the performance the way they did. I believed most of what was happening there. Yes, very spectacular, but I believed most of the emotions. Let me say it like that. I believed most of the conveyed emotions, the turns and twists there are kind of far-fetched sometimes, but the actors make it work. You might have noticed that I have been using Rachel Weisz's name everywhere. In the introduction, in the thumbnail. Normally I'm using the superhero name. In her case, actually, the supervillain name. But it's not really used in the movie, and that is often the case with the MCU. With those characters that are not very clearly superheroes. They don't really use the code name or superhero name that much. I think they haven't mentioned it. Her name is in the comics Iron Maiden, and actually she is always living in the shadow of Black Widow, so she learns to hate her and wants to kill her. So it's a kind of different story that they give her, different background. And yeah, I think they are not using the name Iron Maiden. And her name, Melina Vostokoff, is not really a household name either. So I decided to go with the Rachel Weisz name. I think it tells most people more about whom this is. As surprisingly often the case with Marvel movies, they are also starting this one in the past. And I want to point out how good this filter is by now, that makes them look, the actors that are also later in the movie, makes them look much younger. If you take a look at the first occurrences that I'm at least aware of in the X-Men movies, for example. In the third X-Men movie, let's not talk about it too much, but you have also that filter making our Professor X and Magneto look younger. That already looked pretty good, but you could tell. You could definitely tell. In this case, I'm not sure if it will be an effect like with Jurassic Park, where you thought, wow, those dinosaurs are looking just like real dinosaurs. And when you watch it today with also today's resolution of the videos, you think, how could I ever be fooled by these very non-real looking dinosaurs? It destroys a little bit the illusion that I had about that movie. But anyway, I'm not sure if it's the same here. If we will say in a couple of years, oh, those filters still looked so bad. But I actually think they are nailing this more and more. She really looks very young, but I decided still to go with this picture that comes from the promotion around the movies and more about her older, I would say, current version. And when I found this picture of her, I was instantly looking forward to drawing it. She has this very cool lighting that is sometimes called hero lighting. Sometimes in games or in situations, in movies, in 3D animated movies, you sometimes have a light directly behind the hero, behind the actor, that just gives them much more dramatic lighting. Not necessarily realistic lighting in that situation, but more dramatic lighting, making them more stand out from the background and everything. And it's kind of like that here. You have the light on the right and the left side of the face, so not just on one side, and on the other you have shadow. That is pretty exciting, and she's extremely straight looking into the camera, so not an angle, not a tilt, so very straightforward. So I could really concentrate more on the lighting, and I also wanted to be slower than usual so that I could draw her with more details. So I just wanted to slow myself down and start thinking more about what I'm doing there. I'm always saying that I'm drawing quite instinctively, and I wanted to slow a little bit down so that I could actually think a little bit more about what I'm doing there and how I'm doing it. And you can see that I really went all in also with the contrast. The hair, I overdid it a little bit there with the white. The white could have been a little bit more muted, not as much to the forefront of the hair. I overdid it a little bit on the right side with the light. The right side of the face is probably not as lit as I have drawn it. But I really just enjoyed those contrasts. I always enjoy those contrasts, and I really wanted to have that contrast here. So that's what I did. And in my version, in my picture, I think it works rather well. I came pretty far in the stream, which points to the fact that I was not that much slower than I usually are. But still, I think this is on a level that I would not have reached if I would not have been so cognitively involved, if I can say it like that, in this one. But I really struggled, therefore, with making this better after the stream. It took quite a long time for me to get to a point where I just was thinking, okay, I do not add anything anymore to it. I just change. I don't make it necessarily better. There are still things that are perhaps not ideal, but I don't find them anymore. I don't really know where to correct anymore. So I stopped just wandering aimlessly around the picture and declared myself happy with it, because I really am. I'm happy with this picture. Yeah, some things, some areas I don't know exactly why I'm not that happy with them, but overall this is probably my own favorite by now, so I cannot really complain that much. So yeah, all in all, this is my Rachel Weisz. I am extremely happy with this. I love the contrast, black and white, quite intense, the lighting, that you have the light on both sides of the face. It comes across pretty cool. I like the eyes, I think. Definitely the hair. I'm starting to like the hair more and more often. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to see you in one of the lives or in the comment section of my next video. So subscribe, give me that like, and ideally also ring that bell so you don't miss the next video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time and goodbye.